describe a special experience you had raising Katie. Fond memory raising Katie.
Taking pictures of her when she was younger, and when she was in her elementary age. Watching her trying to play some sports. And cheerleading and stuff like that. She's fun to watch when she gets excited.
What about a fond memory of raising Hillary?
She's our more aggressive girl. She's like her mom. She's kind of fun to tease at times and watch her react. So a fond memory would be probably just watching her react to something that she was challenged at doing. Some kind of sports event that she was cheering for that she had to. Didn't really want to be there, didn't want to do it, but they had to.
How did becoming a parent change you?
I don't know if I can answer that one. That's something I think someone else needs to answer for me. I think it's made me more aware of what I am that's passed on. I didn't know I was. Like passing on my patience or passing on something that of me that's now that my kids pick up. It comes natural to them.
What are some of the blessings that you felt because of your children?
Going back to that same question, I think that kind of what they do reflects on what I was. So what they are now is part of what was me. That's part of me.
Let's see. What's a funny memory that you remember about your kids? Something they said or did?
Probably some of our Disneyland adventures.
What was funny?
Is to watch them react to some of the characters they have in the Donald Duck and Mickey Mouse. See how they react to them. Because it was just a cartoon to them, but we see it in real life. It's kind of unique.
How did you feel when you found out that you were going to be a parent for the first time? When Liz was pregnant with Katie?
Relieved that we're going to have a child finally. I like to say proud, but I don't remember being proud of until after she was born and some time went by. I felt like it was going to be fun to be able to raise a child.
Do you have any special memories that you want to make sure are passed on to your children and grandchildren?
I do, but I can't put them to words right now. I'm thinking about that lately.
What do you feel like is one of Katie's strengths or her weaknesses? What's a strength Katie has?
I think one of Katie's strengths is being able to take a situation, think it through, and work her way through it. Finish it. Take something to finish it. Take a project and finish it.
Right? What about Hillary? What's one of Hillary's strengths?
ability to stick things out and finish them.
See, if you had the chance to raise your kids again, how would you change the way you raised them?
Nothing.
What was your favorite experience, most rewarding experience raising your kids?
Seeing them graduate from college.
What was the most difficult thing about raising a family?
Seeing the girl sick.
All right. What was it like for you when you're like when Katie got old enough and went on her first date?
What was her first date?
I don't know.
I can't think of that. It was
You say when she first started dating a guy, you're like, oh, this is happening. What was that like?
I'm trying to think if it was at the prom, was the occasion, or we stayed pretty close to the girls, so they are, we made sure they were dressed right, appropriate. So we pretty much knew that they're going to be okay. So it wasn't too tragic for Dad. I didn't flip out on anything, so
Yeah.
it was just
What advice would you give to other people raising a family today?
I'm still the dad. You gotta check out the boy or the girl, depending on what you have. Make sure they're okay.
Check out what?
Check them out. Make sure mom and dad. Make sure they're okay. That they're not too often weird. They're gonna get along. You don't want them in the wrong place, the wrong time.
So check on your kids?
Yeah, check on the other half if you can. Kind of get to know. That's old school, but just the way it is.
Check on your spouse? Or what are you saying?
Katie's date. Make sure that he's okay. And that his mom
Oh no, I mean,
and
so for people raising a family,
dad-
so like me and
nice.
Katie are having babies, or any family having babies, if you give advice to a new family starting out, having kids right now, and so they just start having brand new babies, what advice would you give them for raising a family?
You gotta get a job. You gotta try to have the car that you can get around in. Make sure there's a car that works. So just the basics, so they don't weird out about some of the things like that. They've got to have food. They need to have their place to live, a car to drive. They're progressing in whatever vocation they're going to do. You help them as mom and dad. We're still helping them out until they get a few years after they're married. It seems like.
How did it feel when your last child left the nest? When Hillary moved out?
For me, it felt pretty good because we're going to have the house to ourselves for a little while. It was fun. Scary for her, but it should be okay.
So when you were growing up, before you got married, how many children did you want to have? Did you think?
I think between 3 and 5 was what I was looking at.
And how many children did you have?
Just the two. Just 2 girls is all we could have.
What's the most difficult part about being a parent?
Making sure you have enough things for the kids. Enough little activities and for they get to school. Eventually they're going to get their own car, need their own car to get around in school.
Grandma's still being okay. Ooh, how did you feel when you found out that your wife was pregnant with your first baby?
We were very happy because it took us 8 years to have our first child. And wife was very anxious. So was I. It's time to have kids.
How did you feel when she was pregnant with your second baby, with Hillary?
That also was a relief too because she was kind of a surprise. We had to have some help to have kids, so it was kind of, hers was easier.
Can you tell me a good memory you have of Katie?
There's plenty of them, but watching her have fun cheerleading. A couple of times she played some softball. It's fun to watch her play. To hear how she was doing in high school over at Johansson. That she didn't think we knew what was going on. She still doesn't know how much we know. We probably don't know as much as she did either, but still.
Any good memories with Hillary?
Yeah. I mean, she was dating a boy that played some baseball. So we got to travel with them and his family for a while. I'm trying to avoid some things. She was, yeah, she was just a little more girl to handle.
Was Katie named after anybody?
Yes, she was named after a movie I used to watch when I was younger. Helicopter pilot. Airwolf was the name of the show. There was a gal in there that flew the helicopter. Her name was Caitlin.
And then what about her middle name?
Ann comes after my wife's middle name. She wanted the Ann to be in there. It's just 2 N's and no E's.
And what about Hillary? Was she named after anybody?
She was, but I don't remember from what. But her middle name comes from my sister's mother-in-law that has, her first name was Kay. And I thought I spelled it right, but evidently we found out years later that I spelled it wrong.
Let's see. When your children were little, did they do anything that surprised you or amazed you?
I can't think of any right now. They had some learning challenges in elementary, 3rd, 4th grade, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grade. They needed some help, but they didn't last very long. The same as with me when I was in high school. I had a little bit of reading issues, but it only lasted for like a semester. Then I wanted out of there, so I got better real quick. They probably did the same thing. They wanted out of there.
Yeah. What hopes and dreams do you have for your daughters?
To have good relationships with their cousins. Be happy with their families. I guess to be comfortable, but that'll come along. But just to be happy, whatever they're doing.
And let's see. How did you feel when your kids started school for the first time, when they started kindergarten?
That was fun because I got a chance to go down there with them and be with them when they had their first day. Didn't I, Elizabeth?
Yeah.
Okay. I got a little possessive and wanted to make sure that they got there. And they dressed decent. And always like trimming their fingernails, so I made sure their nails were done. And their hair I didn't mess with very much, except for once with Hillary. I got in trouble for that because I gave her a bad haircut. She says, I still like it. I still do.
What was it?
To me, it's like a page haircut, but it's like a bull haircut, actually. So it's kind of short all the way around. So she lost all her hair for a few years. I think it scared her more than anything because she lost all of her hair when they cut it.